The most unethical hooper in basketball. He's talking about Shai. I already know. This video made by Jimmy High Roller. I don't get it. Y'all, a lot of people always mad about Shai being a quote unquote free throw merchant. When in reality, if you want to be technical, basically every player foul baits. Let's just be real, bro. Let's just keep it real. Like James Harden foul baits. I mean, he never beat the allegations. LeBron James, y'all favorite player, y'all GOAT. He foul baits. If you want to be technical, like, don't be mad because Shai is good. Don't do that. Don't do that.
The ethical hooper, a player who is true to the game, plays basketball the way it was meant to be played. No flopping, no stat padding, just pure hoops. And the opposite of the unethical hooper, the player who relies on foul baiting and gimmicks and a barrage of free throws to fill the stat sheet. And right now, there is an unethical hooper among us. Well, at least that's the reputation Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is building at the moment, with some fans claiming his historic season has been propped up with foul hunting and an absurd free throw volume manufactured from gimmicks and tricks that are a disservice to the game. But if Shai is a foul grifter, a free throw merchant, then I've got some bad news about some of your all-time favorite players.
There go Kobe right there, Michael Jordan.
Today's video is sponsored by DraftKings, the NFL conference.
Okay, I ain't gonna cap. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna cap.
Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. As the 2025 NBA MVP race continues to grow closer and closer, fans across the league are finding any and every hair to split to pick a side between two players having historically great seasons. The impossibly good Serbian gunning for his fourth MVP, or the superstar guard.
I'll be real, y'all. I'll be real. I'm not going to be a biased OKC fan. Jokic deserved the MVP as well. I'm not going to lie. I really feel like they both deserve it. I feel like last year was pretty obvious it was Shai's MVP. I'm more than confident last year was more so Shai's MVP. But they gave it to Jokic. This year is even closer than it was last year. Last year it should have been Shai. That's what I personally feel. But it was still Jokic who won, right? And if I felt like Shai should have won last year but he still lost, then of course, with them having closer numbers, I feel like it's going to be a closer debate. But Shai's winning the race. So I'm, as an OKC fan, as a Shai fan, I'm glad about that. All I'm saying is, I feel like they both low-key deserve the MVP as it stands today. Now, obviously, by the end of the season, we'll have to see how it turns out. But right now, as it stands, Shai and Shai and Jokic, either one can win MVP, and it would make sense to me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Looking to break a 6-year chokehold big men have had on the award. And with a race this tight, deciding the most valuable player in the league may just boil down to the smallest, seemingly insignificant things, like free throws. Now, basketball isn't much of a thinking man's sport, but leave it up to us to create a philosophical divide amongst the type of players we like and don't like. On one side, you have the locally sourced.
Bro, with y'all favorite player, logic goes out the window. It's so hilarious, bro. It's so hilarious. Like, y'all try so hard to say LeBron's the GOAT. He's the best scorer of all time because he has the most all-time points. Well, he played the most seasons of all time. He played more seasons than any other player, which is impressive. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. It's impressive. But he played the most seasons. He has the most missed shots, and he also has the most turnovers. So what that tells you is he has the ball in his hand 24/7. So, of course, he's going to make or shoot the most shots, and of course, he's going to ultimately make the most shots, right? He led the league in scoring one time. Jordan led the league in scoring 10 times, which is the most in NBA history. He did this in 15 seasons, by the way. Logic goes out the window. My favorite player is not Jordan or LeBron. But I think we all should know that Jordan is a better scorer than LeBron James. I'm just saying. But people don't want to admit that. It's crazy.
All natural, ethical hoopers. And on the other, you have players who essentially rely on a bag of tricks and gimmicks to navigate games.
Dang, he put up, Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler. Dang, Jimmy Butler on this list too? I would assume that Jimmy Butler was on this side over here and Jason Tatum was on this side. That's what I would have assumed. I would have assumed that because Jimmy Butler, he seems more like the person who's actually, putting in that work for real. Luka, yeah, like I said, if y'all want to call Shai a foul baiter, then yeah, Luka's one too. And I said, what? Y'all said all these four are foul baiters, but I never heard about the Jimmy Butler narrative though. That one caught me off guard. I heard about the Jokic. I'm surprised he over here and surprised he over here, but hey. Anyways, back
games
to the video.
And get free buckets from the line. Do I believe basketball actually has any sort of moral code? No. In fact, the idea of a morally superior basketball player seemed like a joke until it entered the vocabulary of head coaches around the league, making it about as real as anything else. But there is something distinctly different about these two styles of play, both aesthetically and productively. The real question is how reliant on free throws these alleged unethical hoopers are, and are they truly earning their trips to the free throw line, or are they tampering the game with their bag of tricks? And a question we all need to consider, does Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his game even warrant the label of unethical? Now, one way to approach this question is simply by looking at the rates at which players are attempting free throws. When looking at a metric like free throw attempts per field goal attempt, SGA ranks 24th among all players this season.
24th? Huh? Free throw attempt?
Goal attempt, SGA ranks 24th among all players this season, behind players like Trae Young, Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis, Giannis, and even an aging James Harden, who was able to escape the claims of foul baiting and stat padding years ago. So just purely looking at the rate at which players are drawing fouls, SGA isn't doing anything out of the ordinary.
What the freak? Why y'all glazing this hard then? He not even in the top 10 foul baiters. I don't get it. What the?
But to better understand Shai's scoring profile, we need to look at the kinds of fouls Shai draws and where they're coming from. Most shooting fouls don't happen out here. They happen in here. Players that stay aggressive and drive the ball more tend to put more pressure on the defense and draw more fouls. This is why a player like Dwayne Wade, for example, who spent his prime years attempting 10 free throws a game, was never associated with any foul hunting. He earned his free throws. This season, the player who drives to the basket far more than anyone else in the entire league is Shai.
Exactly.
In fact,
y'all don't want to
half
admit
of
that.
all of his free throw attempts are generated through his drives.
He just don't shoot the lights out. He just don't throw up random threes for absolutely no reason, bro. That's the thing y'all don't want to admit. He just in the paint. No other play. Like he shoots mid-range shots. He goes in the paint, goes for floaters, go for other stuff besides threes. Every other player in the league shoots strictly threes, especially guards. Most of them, you even got centers shooting threes. Do y'all understand how big of a deal that is? Y'all even have centers not playing their job in the paint and shooting threes. And y'all want to say Shai foul baiting. Y'all want to say Shai is foul baiting because he going to the paint. Stupid. I'm just saying stupid. Anyways, I'm sorry. Anyway, back to this video. He making a lot of good points right now.
Half of all of his free throw attempts are generated through his drives to the basket. And again, if we look at the rate these drive leaders are drawing fouls on their drives, Shai is getting calls at an average rate, far from what you might see from other superstars both past and present. Which brings us to a real point of contention when it comes to SGA and his historic season. One of the odd and universally accepted aspects of NBA basketball is that superstars get calls. This has been a thing since the inception of the league. Once you transcend that highest tier of player, you essentially get the benefit of the doubt, even at times when you shouldn't.
He never controlled it, Michael. He didn't touch it with both hands. That's the thing. You think so, Michael? 55 hits, 2 to come. Michael, I didn't see 2 hands on him, Michael. But I believe you. He did. But I believe you.
That's some crazy glaze right there. I can't count. That's some crazy glaze right there. I'm be honest with y'all. That's actually some crazy glaze. I seen this clip before, but that's actually crazy. Look, mind you, I think Jordan is the GOAT. I do think Jordan's the GOAT still. I still do think it's the GOAT. But that's some crazy glaze. I ain't seen no foul, Michael. But I believe you, Michael. I believe you. What the freak? They ain't doing that for nobody else. That's some crazy glaze right there. They ain't even doing that for LeBron no more. They was doing it for him in the past. But they wasn't doing it for him in his 40s. They not doing that for him in his 40s. They not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But in the past, though, if we talk about like 2016, no, if we talk about when he was in Cleveland, if he would have stayed in Cleveland and never went to the Lakers, I almost guarantee they probably would still be given the benefit of the doubt. I ain't gonna lie. Because in Cleveland, the refs are always on his side for the most part, it felt like. Cleveland and Miami. But
and that highest tier of player, you essentially get the benefit of the doubt, even at times when you shouldn't.
You should.
He never controlled it, Michael. He never
picked it up and then he took
but he didn't touch it with both hands. That's the thing. You think so, Michael? 55.
He said, "You think so, Michael?"
2 to go.
You think so, Michael?
Michael, I didn't see 2 hands on him, Michael. Yeah. But I believe you.
But I believe you.
But I believe you.
We know this, and we accept it. And Shai is a superstar, except he hasn't consistently gotten these phantom superstar calls this season. Since the introduction of tracking data back in 1996, there have been 36 instances of a player averaging at least 30 points per game for a season. And when ranking these 36 individual seasons according to free throw rates, SGA...
Check it out. You can compare
You gotta
car
get paid
insurance
somehow.
options.
You know what? You gotta get paid somehow. You gotta get paid somehow.
SGA this season ranks 26th, behind guards like Harden, Wade, Iverson, and Luka. But again, most shooting fouls should come from shots taken in the paint or around the rim. Of course, players do get clipped on threes and long jumpers and drop fouls by other means.
Wait, was that actually a foul or did he flop?
Of course, players do get clipped on threes and long jumpers and draw fouls.
Oh, that low-key looked real, but he snapped to the ground. Like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell on that one. That was hard to tell.
By other means, but really it's getting downhill that tends to generate trips to the line. And specifically among guards, Shai gets into the paint and attempts more shots from inside than any other prolific scorer since the introduction of tracking data. This season, Shai is attempting nearly 54% of all of his shots from within 10 feet of the basket.
So inspirational.
Meanwhile, players like Kobe, Iverson, Luka, Harden, and Dame all have multiple seasons where they weren't getting into the paint nearly as much and still yielded far more trips to the free throw line. Shai is statistically the most aggressive volume scoring guard in recent NBA history. He takes the most shots that historically should earn trips to the free throw line, and there isn't a single metric that suggests his free throws are inflated or unwarranted. Of the previously mentioned 36 seasons of 30 points or more a game, the average number of free throws taken per game across the board is 10. This season, Shai is averaging just 8.3. So, if anything...
You see this? Do you see this? And y'all call him a free throw merchant. Y'all just hating. Y'all are genuinely just hating. What the heck? Y'all are genuinely hating. Look at this. Look at this stat. The people that average 30 points a game generally average 10. He's not even averaging 9. He's averaging 8.3. Y'all are just hating. That's what it is. So I just caught you over here D-riding for absolute no reason. Absolutely no reason. You just hating for no reason. You just 9 times out of 10, y'all just hating because y'all favorite player not doing that. Okay, that's what it is. I understand. Your favorite player not doing that. That's all it is.
Considering his usage and his play style, Shai is actually not getting enough calls. If we've learned anything from witnessing the last decade of scoring maestros, it's that this is just the nature of great scorers. They're hard to stop. They force the defense to get physical. They get you in positions you don't want to be in. Overreacting, reaching, even taking gambles, hoping it yields you a stop or a turnover.
Hey, that was rest. That was rest by gut right there.
When more often than not, it's just going to end up in another trip to the free throw line. And on an abstract scale of basketball morality, I don't think SGA plays an unethical style of hoops. I think he's a better and more prolific scorer than some fans are willing to give him credit for.
Exactly.
He's not relying
Y'all
on
don't
free
wanna
throws to
admit
get his
it.
numbers.
Just
When
admit it,
compromised,
bro.
the
Just
defense
admit it.
is relying on fouling him just
Oh
to
my
slow him
God.
down. Most of Shai's drawn shooting fouls look something like this, where he drives into the lane and inexplicably rips through the defender's arms to put up a shot. It is damn near impossible to predict, and it works almost every time a defender cuts him off or puts a body on him. And we've seen this before with James Harden, a free trip to the line disguised as a shot attempt. In fact, this is like the 2.0 version of Harden's rip-through, because it does a much better job of masking itself as an actual shot rather than an attempt to just draw a foul. And I think that's where most fans get frustrated with this kind of basketball. It's not necessarily the outcome of the move, but rather the intent. Because we know he's not actually trying to score the ball here. He is purely looking for a foul, and he knows he can get these calls. And you could call this unethical hoops, or you could call it smart basketball. Kobe Bryant was notorious for making opposing players pay for bad defense, drawing fouls for the sake of drawing fouls. And when he did it, it wasn't viewed as his fault for taking advantage of the rules. It was the defender's fault for falling for the move in the first place. If you don't want to get baited, don't fall for the bait.
Why you jumping up like that, falling directly on top of my man's? You fell for it. You fell for the pump fake. Don't be mad because you decided to. You know what I'm saying? You fell for the pump fake, but you mad because he taking the contact from you, falling for the. Do y'all hear yourselves? Y'all hear yourselves right now? Y'all mad because he pump faked y'all into thinking y'all was gonna get a block. Y'all missed the block and they ended up. Come on now, make that make sense.
Bait. You reach, I teach.
How many players do
as some
pump fake?
half-decent basketball player once said. Take this play here, where he gets the defense on his hip, out of position, and reaching in to disrupt the shot. Now, Shai is baiting the foul here, and he's going to get it every time.
Hold on now, wait, hold on. Baiting a foul where? How is he baiting a foul?
Shai is baiting the foul.
Do y'all see this man grabbing this dude's arm? Shai arm? Y'all don't see that? I know I ain't tripping. Look at
out of position and reaching in to disrupt the shot. Now, Shai is baiting the foul here, and he's going to get it every time because he already beat the defense 3 steps ago. Or this play here, where Shai has a 7-footer in a mismatch, feeds him the bait, and Markkanen falls for it, leading to the shooting foul. Some fans may say this is an act of basketball sin, intentionally jumping into the defender instead of just pulling up off the step back. But I don't see it that way. You've got a 7-footer on an island with no help guarding the league's leading scorer, and you leave your feet on a pump fake. Shai isn't playing unethical hoops. He's taking advantage of bad defense. All the great scorers knew this, and they all took advantage of it. As much as we resented the tricks James Harden would deploy throughout his prime scoring years, it's worth asking the question. Was it the foul baiting and free throws that allowed him to be the scorer he was? Or was he such a great scorer that he could bend the defense to his will whenever he wanted to? Same thing goes for a player like Joel Embiid. If the gimmicks added an extra 10% to his production, would we concede that he was in fact a historic scorer even if he had 90% of the production, but he did it ethically? Among high-volume scorers of this century, players who averaged at least 30 points per game since 2000, according to this idea of honest scoring, 2016 Stephen Curry would be the most ethical scorer, averaging 30 points per game with just 5 free throw attempts. And on a scale of free throw reliance, 2025 Shai is far closer to Steph than he is to countless other all-time great scoring seasons.
Y'all hear that, right? Y'all see that, right? Some of y'all favorite players all time is Kevin Durant. Look how high he's up there. I'm just saying, look at him. That's Kevin Durant, by the way.
If SGA's game falls into the category of unethical hooper, then so does Kobe's and Luka's and Dame's and Iverson's and Durant's.
Oh, and look at LeBron. Look at where LeBron at. He's higher than Shai too. Y'all see this? Okay, this season he wasn't, 2022. But these seasons, come on now.
And all of our favorite all-time great scorers. It is an unfair label on one of the best individual seasons in recent NBA history. And it is objectively not true. And if none of that changed your mind, then maybe this will. Here is every single season in modern NBA history where a player averaged at least 25 points per game. 354 individual seasons since 1980. And they are graphed in terms of scoring average and free throw attempts per game. The further right a player is, the more free throws they attempted. The further up a player is, the more points they averaged. So way off to the right are the seasons of all-time high free throw attempts, and where you'll find most historic scoring seasons, like some Embiid seasons, some LeBron seasons, Jordan's highest scoring seasons, Luka, Harden, Shaq. Even the pure bucket getters like Durant and McGrady often found themselves at the line during the peak of their powers. So where does Shai's 2025 season land? It's right here. The 18th highest scoring season in modern NBA history, while attempting just the 142nd most free throws.
Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Y'all see this? So this is the free throw merchant y'all talk about, by the way. The free throw merchant. Scoring rank 18th. 18th. Free throw rank 142. Come on, bro. What I tell y'all, bro?
And that, my
what
friends,
I'm telling y'all,
is
bro,
some honest,
you got a free throw merchant,
homegrown,
bro.
ethical
You got a free
hoops.
throw merchant, bro. Y'all only want to bring up one clip. Y'all only want to bring up one clip. Y'all want to bring up the fact that he had that one clip of him. What's the name? What was it? I think it was Laurie Markkinen, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all want to bring up that one clip. One clip. There's countless of clips of LeBron James, your GOAT. Your GOAT. Not even being in the same area. He ain't even being close to being touched. He just fall back like this. Hit him with these. And y'all want to call my man Shai a free throw merchant because he like to go into the paint as a guard? Man, I don't even want to hear what y'all got to say. That's it. That's all I can say. Shai just him. Y'all don't want to admit it. But guess what? He going to win that MVP, whether y'all like it or not.